just
Go slower. Okay. That's good. Okay. Sorry. Yep. People say dog is man's best friend. I disagree. Today I'll walk you through the long history of cats and people. Cats have been a major part of humans' lives for centuries. Today I'm going to tell you about how the common house cat started out, how they became domesticated, and how humans and cats coincide today. I'll start from the beginning and explain where the domestic house cat came from. Domestic cats first came into existence many years ago. According to an article on Purina One's website titled, "What Do Domestic Cats and African Wildcats Have in Common?" The house cat evolved from the African wildcat, also known as the Felis sylvestris libica. African wildcat's coloring is either light gray, yellow, or red. It varies to blend in with the environment they live in. They are slightly larger in stature than the domestic house cat and are generally in better shape than your average chunky house cat due to living in the wilderness. They have longer hair on their ears and definitive stripes on their body. Cats are still similar to their ancestors in some ways. According to an article on National Geographic's website, published by Matthew Pally on March 28th of 2017, they still like to hunt at night, kill mice, and take naps. They are mammals, members of the Felidae family, and carnivores. According to an article titled History of Cats, published on the website The Cat Guide on March 1st of 2017, African wildcats are initially from the Near East and Northern Africa. This is around the area of the Arabian Peninsula. It's assumed they stowed away and were brought to America on boats. People assume that they're stowaways, as not many sailors will be willing to bring a cat as a companion for an unknown number of months on the open ocean. Next, I'll talk about how African wildcats became domesticated like the average house cat we have today. Cats have changed in many ways over the years. Most people don't know that cats were domesticated after dogs. According to A Brief History of House Cats, an article published on Smithsonian.com by David Zacks on June 30th of 2007, cats were not useful until people were settled, whereas dogs were useful before. When they originally became domesticated isn't entirely agreed upon. Also, according to the same article, cats were first domesticated in the Near East, some speculate up to 12,000 years ago. However, according to the same previously mentioned article on National Geographic's website, they were originally domesticated by ancient Egyptians up to 4,000 years ago. The exact time is hard to pinpoint because the timeline of the domestication of cats varies between societies. What is agreed upon between these two sources is that they were drawn to humans by increased rodent populations near cities and towns. Rodents caused disease and killed crops. Cats became prized by people once they realized they could help them with their rodent problems. The idea is that over time, cats became accustomed to their new environment and eventually domesticated themselves. According to the previously stated article titled History of Cats, cats were revered in many ancient societies, including Egypt, Rome, and China. But in Europe during the Middle Ages, things changed. During the plague, cats were thought to be associated with Satan, and they were murdered in mass numbers. Because of the number of cats killed, rodents continued to reproduce and spread the plague even more. Countless cats were killed with no real reasoning, and it's estimated that Europe's feline population was cut in half. Also, according to History of Cats, it's assumed that domestic cats came to America with Christopher Columbus. They thrived here among the new colonies with their rodent problems. The first cat believed to come to America was the British Shorthair, which is still a very popular breed today. Cats have gone from stowing away on boats to stowing away in our hearts. In our society today, cats are a large part of so many people's lives. They've changed in many ways, but in others you can still see their primitive nature shining through. Cats once used their long tails for balance while they hunted prey and climbed trees. Today, domestic cats use their long tails to balance along bookshelves and TV stands, all while tiptoeing around picture frames and DVDs. Their scratchy tongues which were once used to remove meat from the bones of their prey, are now used to lick the last of the gravy from their owner's dinner plate. They're still naturally wary of predators, which is why they jump at the sight of a cucumber appearing behind them. However, some of these natural instincts can cause trouble in their relationships with their owner. While cats commonly communicate with one another using body language and eye contact, they primarily meow to communicate with humans and are known to do so incessantly when they want attention. They also communicate by marking, which used to be done on trees and shrubbery, but can be a problem when domesticated cats start marking indoors by either peeing on clothes or furniture. Cats are also notorious for scratching on furniture to keep their claws sharp, which were once used to fight predators or climb trees. However, in our society today, cats are still practically idolized. According to U.S. pet ownership statistics on AVMA's website, published by the American Veterinary Medical Association, cats are found in 30.4% of homes in America, or 36,117,000 homes, with an average of over 2 per household. According to America's Pets by the Numbers, How Much We Spend on Our Animal Friends, an article by Amelia Josephson, published on LearnVest.com on February 15th of 2016. On average, Americans will spend $1,035 on their new cat just in the first year. There are countless characters in movies and books that are based on them. Just think of the Aristocats or Thackeray Binks from Hocus Pocus. Even think of Grumpy Cat. This is how domestic cats came to be and how they impact our lives today. I'm happy to have shared with you these facts about where cats came from, how they became domesticated, and how cats and humans interact today because of being domesticated. Cats impact our lives in so many ways today, have for many years, and will for many more to come. After listening to this, I hope you take the time to appreciate your own cat, or even just your friendly neighborhood cat. Thank you for listening. Try to keep it long, yes.